Alabama and Georgia. This is a clash of the Titans. And Alabama hoping to have their colossal offensive line all set and ready to go against the Georgia team that has allowed one explosive play all year long. We're going to get into that right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel, plus more. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Let's get this party started, everybody. And can I say this? On game week, big game week, huge game week, roll Tide. Welcome to the Bama Tailgate Daily Show. We will be doing the Bama Tailgate Show with Jake Coker and Big Sexy Elmo this week at Innisfree, 1 to 4. We're going to be there Friday recording. Then next week in Nashville, the big news is we're going to be at Live Oak Music Row, 1 to 4 next Friday when Alabama takes on the upstart Commodores, who had one of the best losses of the season. They got over in a loss to Missouri. But there he is, Big Sexy Elmo. You guys know him from his amazing work with Kalen DeBoer, his new best friend. Two best friends.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot. I'm going to Waffle House soon. Be great.
Yeah.
No, man, it was a great interview. I hope everybody enjoyed it. You did a great job, and we had a good time. Very personable coach and a good guy. Nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy. I got replaced as your best friend by Kalen DeBoer.
Yep, sorry.
Hey, I'm out. All right, Alabama takes on Georgia. If Kalen DeBoer and Alabama get run off the field at home by the Dogs, he's going to be looking for best friends because Alabama is expected to go in this game and hang. I don't know if they're going to win, but I'm expecting them to go into this epic collision, this big bout, and go in there and make some waves, do some things. And it's their offense that's been really consistently good this year against the Georgia defense. That's one of the best in the country. But for me, Brett, it's the offensive line that Alabama is going to have to rely on. How many times have we said during the offseason that the offensive line should be the best group on this team?
We said it a lot. And they're going to have to come together and give Milroe some time and play a great ball game. Yeah, both sides of the football. Look, Milroe last year completed 13 of 23 for 192 yards and 2 touchdowns against Bulldogs and Atlanta en route to that championship. But, that's the last meeting Georgia's had with a really, really good quarterback like Milroe, I guess. And they struggled a little bit. Well, they struggled a lot against Kentucky. They're going to have a mad on, really, because people are starting to doubt them and folks really getting on the Alabama bandwagon. But the offensive line is going to have to play well, and I think they will. They got to step up. Everybody does. This is the biggest game so far of the year.
I want to talk about the offensive line. Nick Sheridan, Alabama OC, at the press conference kind of got into that. I want you guys to hear what he had to say, and then Brett and I will break that down.
They've made strides for sure, in the first 3 weeks. You mentioned the continuity. We have not played consecutive games with the same starting 5, and so there's been rotation there, and we'll continue to play the players that deserve the opportunity to do that, but I certainly saw progress. I certainly think that this past game there was progress made, but we need that to continue, and not just for the offensive line, but for the other positions as well. For each person, each position group to just, continue to improve and hone in on your fundamentals, your techniques, your communication, all the different things that make, units and position groups successful. And it is certainly, when you're an offensive lineman, you have 5 guys that need to, play as one. And so I've seen improvement there. There's great urgency. There's great focus. Coach Cap's done a real nice job of developing that group. And they're gelling, and getting, better and better each day. And so we expect that to continue. And yeah, we're pleased with the group's effort and work ethic at practice.
There you go. He's saying, hey, this is pretty much the first time we're going to have the same group together for both games. And I think that's important, right? Parker Brailsford has done an excellent job of taking over the center's position. My friend Clint Lamb, who is on Cover Crimson with me, says that he's the offensive MVP. It's not just snapping the football cleanly. It's helping run the offense, calling out the defenses, just doing the little things that makes this offensive line tick. I think the center is one of the most important positions on the football field. But then Tyler Booker's been great. Jaden Roberts is so good. You got Elijah Pritchett, who has gotten better after he came back from his injury. And then finally, we got Caden Proctor back. So with these 5 guys, they're going to have the toughest challenge that they're going to face since last year's playoff against Michigan. And you know that Georgia's watched these films, and you know that Georgia realizes that Jalen Milroe has trouble when it comes to having the blitz in his face, and they're going to try to do something to keep him off balance. And then on top of that, they haven't given up in any, only one explosive play. So they're going to be confident in going after Milroe.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to try to disrupt Milroe as much as they can. And Milroe's going to have to play a great game. But, yeah, the key word there was continuity. You got to have that. And, back-to-back games with the same group, will be big. It's going to be a great atmosphere. And looking back at it, and I may be completely wrong, but I think I'm right. I think this is the first time College Game Day has been on a campus that Kalen DeBoer's coached at.
Wow.
Because I looked up Washington, and they've only been to Washington once, and that was back in 2008. So that was, before he was the head coach there. I think this is the first time. What do you think? And I'm not trying to get way off subject here, but I want to see how he deals with all the distractions that come with big games like this. I know he's been in big games, don't get me wrong, but when you have College Game Day on campus, when you have a former president visiting campus, there's going to be heightened security. It's going to be a madhouse. There's so much going on around this game because, hey, look, this is where the big boys play. It's Alabama. It's Georgia. I mean, this is what you sign up for when you're the head coach at Alabama. You're coming off a bye week. You've had plenty of time to prepare. How does he manage this? Saban was a master at it. I hate to bring the folks in the comments say, oh, quit bringing up Saban so damn much. Well, I mean, he was the greatest, okay? But how does he handle it? That's what I kind of want to see too.
Yeah, look, I'm with you on this. I mean, we talk about Saban a lot. I think that Kalen DeBoer is a good fresh breath of fresh air. Not saying that Saban wasn't awesome. He was, but you could tell the last few years things started going like this because he's 70-something, man. I mean, it was time for him to do something else, and he's great on TV. But the best thing that Saban did was manage expectations and get people motivated to do the job that they had to do, to be focused. And we're going to find out what Kalen DeBoer is all about because, yeah, he got Washington to the championship game last year, but he also had a quarterback in Michael Penix that had been with him at other stops, had been with him at Indiana, was a good player there, and helped in that aspect where he had veterans in spots that you weren't veterans in, right? Milroe's been there too. But I'm curious about this. I guess I want to see this Alabama offense matched up against this Georgia defense. And when you talk about the offense, Bama's scoring offense, 6th best, 49 points a game. Georgia's scoring defense, 3rd, 6 points allowed a game. Bama's rushing offense, 19th best, 238 yards. Georgia's rushing defense has given up some yards. 42nd best, 110 plus yards per game. But this is the one that's really interesting to me. Passing offense. Bama's 69th, right? So they haven't been that great, the passing, but they have had the explosive plays, which Georgia hasn't given up many of those. 228 yards a game. Georgia's only allowing passing defense-wise 91 yards. That's the best right there. That's number one in the country, right? And then Georgia's total defense is fourth. Bama's total offense is 24th, right? So how does that translate? Georgia's great defense against Bama's really good to great offense.
Well, as the old saying goes, something's got to give. Something's got to give. And what's it going to be? Personally, I'm a defensive guy. I love really good defense. You've heard the phrase "defense wins championships." I'm a defensive guy. So maybe the edge does go to Georgia. Look, I'm a true blue Alabama fan, but I'm also a realist. Georgia, they've been there, they've done that. Kirby Smart is a great football coach. I'm concerned about this game. I like us because we're at home. It's going to be an interesting Saturday, man. It's going to be a long day to get to that 6:30 kickoff. Yeah,
I mean it's going to take forever, right?
Man, the anticipation building up throughout the day with game day there. Like I mentioned, the former president going to be there. And no telling who else will be in the audience, to be honest with you.
I know Roll Tide Willie will be there. I'm sure, right?
Probably so.
Have you heard rumors he might be on game day as the guest picker?
No, don't start that with me, okay? You know exactly how I feel about that. Let me tell you something. If DeBoer blows this game, me and him could go to the Waffle House in Northport after the ball game, and more people would talk to me than him.
That's so funny. All right, listen, tomorrow we're going to get into the defense versus their offense, which I think Alabama has some advantages there. The Georgia defense is great. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Georgia offense is good. Bama's defense, I think, is good, and I feel like Bama's offense, even though it might not have shown up yet, third down conversions and the success that they've had in the red zone makes Alabama a lot more dangerous than Georgia. We'll get into that kind of tomorrow a little bit more right back here on the Bama Tailgate Show daily. But guys, a couple things. I want to start by telling you that I really, really enjoyed hanging out with Daniel Moore over at his New Life Art Studios in Hoover. We give you the promo code every day, 20% off. Use the promo code Bama Tailgate when you go to newlifeart.com. Take advantage of that, man. I'm telling you, you go in there and you look at some of those great prints and all the stuff that Daniel Moore has done. Me sitting across the table from him and just talking about, hey, how did you get into this? And what were you thinking on this? And, to talk about the great work that he's done and the fact that we have it hanging in our house. I mean, I've got a whole wall of prints right here. So anyway, take advantage of that Bama Tailgate promo code, 20% off. And then Pearl River Resort. They make this channel happen over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. They're also the title sponsor of the Bama Tailgate Show, which, again, will be at Innisfree, recording this Friday and then airing across the state on Saturday. So if you want to be part of our live studio audience, be there Friday. Somewhere between 1 and 2, we'll get things started. They have a show there. We're at the Striker Strong Golf Tournament in Hoover, and that's something else that I probably want to take a couple minutes to talk about as well with you guys, maybe before we get off the show. But Robbie Glenn has just done amazing work for his son Striker, who has a genetic disease and has been really just unfortunately in bed his entire life. And this is a really tough kid, a special kid. And so going out there and being a part of that, or just donating to Striker Strong, is something that I think that if you have the means to do it, that would be something that you would appreciate. I know they would. And they basically go out and try to make sure that people that are dealing with the same illness will have the stuff that they need to be able to combat it. And he was telling me that there's some kind of thing that he has to put in his mouth, and he throws up, and it gets the throw up out. If he doesn't have it, he'll die. And so there's just so many different things that parents like the Glens have to deal with. I mean, really pray for him every day. And I know you guys do as well. But the Striker Strong Golf Tournament's on Friday. We're going to swing back from that to Innisfree for our show. So we'll be there, and we hope that you guys come and hang out with us. Had a great crowd at the Old River Grill at the floor of Bama last time. And then we're going to be in Nashville for the next show, the Vandy game, right there in Music City on Music Row at Live Oak, which is a really fun bar, a Bama bar right there in Music City. So that's a week from Friday from 1 to 4 as well. So come by, see Jake and me. I think Ryan Anderson's saying he's going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Big Sexy Elmo in person, which is something that a lot of people didn't think would happen. A lot of people feel like he's AI. He's computer generated. Oh, there you go.
I'll be in the flesh.
AI. All right. Listen, show's brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Right now is a great time to make your picks count at the Timeout Sports Lounge. Go there, $50 down, and then you can play Dancing Rabbit. The Augusta you can play, right, without a membership for $40. When we come back, Brett Elmore, the AI-generated friend of the show.
To Pearl River Resort. They call him Big Sexy. Coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy. Throwing out those Alabama thoughts. Sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick into the XP, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
Indeed, it is the 24th day of the month. It's slipping by, man. You know, we're already into fall.
Yeah, I know. I miss summer already.
No, you don't. It's still hotter than Hades down in
Yeah, they're telling us a hurricane's coming, by the way.
You bunkering down for that?
Man, I'm not even until I see it in the Gulf, I'm not even looking.
Okay, well, if I need to come down there and protect you, I will.
Come on.
But y'all probably don't need me though. Let's take a look at the celebrity birthdays for today.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Not a very big day for celebrity birthdays. I'm sorry. News anchor Lou Dobbs is 79. He was such a boring guy.
I liked Lou Dobbs. You talking about the guy on Fox Business?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Boring to me.
No, he was good.
I'm Lou Dobbs.
Lou Dobbs.
The stock market today is trending upward.
But look, what you got to remember, man, is when you're talking about stocks and bonds, you know, you're watching your money go up or down. You need somebody that's even keel. These guys that yell all the time, you're happy when they're yelling when you're making money, but you're sad or pissed off when the guy's screaming.
Yeah, what was that clown's name that he used to do a show? I don't even know if he still does one.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy was never mind. Is a joke. Let's see. Kevin Sorbo, the actor, 66 today.
Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, I've heard of Kevin Sorbo. I can't. Now, he was in Hercules' Legendary Journeys. I know that, but he's in some other things.
Oh, you know this guy. Yeah, the funny thing is, like, I don't always know their names. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you say, "Oh, Kevin Sorbo," and I'm like, I don't know who Kevin Sorbo is. And then all of a sudden, you're like, "Boom! Oh, it's that guy." Yeah, I know that guy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is that Xena Warrior Princess?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, she was a babe because I was a young Elmo at that time. and when Xena Warrior Princess came on, it was must-see TV.
Okay. All right. Well, don't scare people, but yeah, that's great.
Don't scare people. Oh my God, it's great. Let's see. Drummer Marty Mitchell of Ricochet is 55 today. Remember that? A country band, Ricochet?
No. What song?
Yeah, you remember Ricochet. They were big in the 90s. Forget it. That's the celebrity. Oh, Kyle Sullivan, Malcolm in the Middle star, 36 today as well.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday and well wishes to him, I'm sure.
All right.
Let's see. Today, if you're looking for something to celebrate, today is Bluebird of Happiness Day.
I got to tell you, like, have you know what, like Blue Jays, they're like a really mean bird, but they're beautiful, right?
Yeah, they are.
Have you ever been anywhere? Do they, I don't even think they're down here, right? They're more of like a northern bird. They're like the bird of Canada. Like,
Yeah, I guess that's because they have the Toronto Blue Jays.
That's probably why. But when I lived up north for a little while as a kid, I walked around the corner of my house and this blue jay was eating a robin. And I thought, this is not what I expected. You know, like these birds are aggressive. And I realized like blue jays they're not very nice.
Have you ever had a woodpecker live next to your house?
Hey, the tree that I took out, the one that had the big hole in it, the water oak, I talked about before, my friends from Sticks Tractor and Tree Removal came over and had a hole in it. There was a woodpecker was always in that tree, and then he'd dig in there, and then I'd have like stuff fall on my deck, and I thought, man, I bet that tree's rotten because he's in there like trying to pick through it.
Yeah.
What are they eating? Like bugs out of there or something?
I don't know. But they're annoying as hell, especially if they live next to your house, because you'll wake up and hear that.
Do you remember Woody Woodpecker?
Oh yeah, Woody Woodpecker. Yeah, redheaded bird cartoon.
Yeah,
I always liked that cartoon.
It was good. Kind of gone. I mean, maybe it's time for a reboot.
A reboot of Woody Woodpecker. Today is. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Don't die on us here.
No, I got today's punctuation day.
Oh boy.
Yeah, boy. Hey Mick, you gonna celebrate punctuation day today?
I try to punctuate. There's one guy at the Saban press conference that is the most over punctuated guy ever. Every time he comes on, I'm like, I just can't stop laughing because he's going to over punctuate everything he says, but he's a good guy and he does a good job. But it's like, Coach DeBoer.
DeBoer.
You got to really dig into it.
Today is National Cherries Jubilee Day, whatever that is.
It's probably some kind of dish, but down here on the coast in the Mobile Bay, there's another Jubilee. And it's one of the only two places in the world that has one. And this Jubilee is where fish just come floating up to the top because they can't get enough oxygen. And then you can just go by in a net and scoop them up.
Yeah, I remember the last time that happened. You were going to go and
I missed it.
And you missed it.
I missed it.
Yeah. Today in history, Alexander Hamilton passed away this day, 1806.
I don't know that there was like a big, like Hamilton thing. I mean, I know he's on one of the bills, but the 20 maybe. But the play came out, and then all of a sudden we're like, hey, Hamilton. He became very popular again.
Alexander Hamilton. Yeah. Is he on the $20 bill? I know you don't see too many $20. You only deal with hundreds. 1934, Babe Ruth makes his farewell appearance as a player of the Yankees.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what's, we kind of got into this. As I look up Hamilton. Oh, he's on the 10. I'm sorry. He's on the 10.
Oh, you definitely don't know then.
I knew he's on one of those monies.
Yeah, one of those monies.
What really was sad to me is when Willie Mays, he was too sick and he ended up dying before he came to Birmingham for the Rickwood game. And, I really, really, really wanted – I didn't want it to be his last time to be in the public, but I knew that at his age and everything else that it was probably potentially could have been.
Right.
And I wanted him to get that hometown welcome that he deserved, or farewell, or just whatever. I mean, going back to Rickwood, and then all of us just absolutely loving on him. And I remember talking to him and about Alabama and saying, "Hey, man, place changed a lot since you were a kid. I don't think he got back to Birmingham much, but that would have been amazing had he come back. And then what's even more amazing is that he went to heaven while there was a game going on during the event in his honor. And then we basically turned it into just the best eulogy and funeral for the greatest baseball player ever, maybe tied for the greatest ever. But and the reason I bring it up with Babe Ruth is that Babe Ruth came out one more time for the Babe Ruth story. And then that was released in the movies, and he came out. That was the last time anybody ever saw him. He ended up dying of throat cancer, a young age too.
Yeah.
But Babe Ruth and Willie Mays, I'd say 1 and 2 best ever baseball players.
1952, fast food restaurant chain KFC, known as Kentucky Fried Chicken, opened its first franchise in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Whoa, KFC started in Utah?
The first franchise opened in Salt Lake City.
But it really started in like Kentucky somewhere.
Right. Yeah. And Colonel Sanders had a very a wild story. I mean, he lived in Jasper for quite some time.
Tell you this. I was watching that.
You laugh, and that's the truth.
Yeah, look, I'm not laughing at Jasper. I mean, I know you guys have had your brush with fame, Mel from Mel's Diner.
No, not Mel from Mel's Diner.
Gomer.
No, you're getting all. Look, those are fighting words. You are mixing up our celebrities. Mel was not from here. You're thinking of Flo.
Okay, it was Flo from Mel's Diner.
Kiss My Grits from Alice.
Okay, and then who was the? So it wasn't
Goober.
It was Goober. The other pile.
Yeah, Goober and Butterbean.
Not so famous pile. And then and by the way, we love Butterbean. I mean, Butterbean the boxer.
And Tallulah Bankhead was from here.
Okay. Look, well, here's what I wanted to say about the Colonel. I was watching that show where people bring in stuff, and then I think it might have been Pawn Stars, but it might have been that other show where they take antiques, pickers. It was one of those shows. And the guy had a suit, one of those Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders white suits with the tie and everything. And basically what he said was that the guy's house was being renovated, and they rented his basement, and he became friends with Colonel Sanders, and he gave him that suit. And the suit was worth like $50,000 or $60,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is incredible. Let's see what else happened this day in history.
You like fried chicken?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's there's no secret. I like fried chicken.
Okay.
The Colonel had like a nephew or something, and he opened up his own chicken restaurant called Lee's Famous Recipe. Jasper is the home to the only Lee's Famous Recipe chicken in the state of Alabama. They're located in other places, but it's the only one in the state here in Jasper.
I'm coming there. Let's go there next time I'm there.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's great chicken. I think it's better than KFC. It is better than KFC, actually, to be honest with you. Let's see. 1977, just 1 month after Elvis Presley's death, 2,500 fans gathered in Cincinnati for the first Elvis Presley convention.
Still popular. Guy's still going, man. His legacy's never going to die.
No, it's not. He was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame this day in 1998. That is also a side note there. And Prince's 1999 single is released this day in 1982.
I'm going to listen to some Prince after the show.
Oh, man.
Just motivated me. I love some Prince, too.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's a look at this day in history.
Bama and Georgia this Saturday, guys. Huge game. So much fun in Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.